Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi on Sign Language, Elizabeth Nakakoni. Let's dig into it. The Prime Minister, Rhoda Ngonzi, has met leaders in the districts of Gomba and Butambala in preparation for the forthcoming Agricultural Expo. During the meeting in Gomba, leaders lauded President Yoweri Museveni for purchasing land for them, but reported that some people are trying to fleece them.
The Farmer Education Mobilization Value Addition and Service Delivery campaign to improve production, productivity and profitability is in high gear in districts of Gomba and Butambala. During a meeting organized by the Prime Minister Rhoda Ngonzi, the chairperson, Chai Sub-County in Gomba District, David Nasasira, alleged that he was beaten and his spine damaged by the crime intelligence officer, identified as George Williams Kaijuka, and the district police commander, Gomba. The residents thanked President Yoweri Museveni and the NRM government for purchasing them land measuring 714 acres through Uganda Land Fund, although some bona fide occupants of the land are not benefiting from this offer. The resident district commissioner, Gomba, Harriet Nakmia, says that there are some issues that need to be sorted with Council Waswa, who sold the land to the government.
Kino presidency agendo chikola yegwo gendo chikola atobe malewo because president yalagira tewali ya the court yesazeewo tewali ku evicting abantu nga security committee tetudde.
Robina Rakojo, the Gomba West legislator, told the Prime Minister that the diversion of heavy trucks to go through Gomba has affected the state of the road because it was meant for light vehicles and it needs rehabilitation and maintenance. Later in the day, the Prime Minister interacted with leaders from Butambala district, led by the LC5 chairperson, Hajat Irasha No. 1, who held the government for the interventions aimed at helping the grassroots person. Godfrey Vice Chairperson for Buganda, Sembala historically belongs to the NRM Reclaim It come 2026. Now built to the people in Butambala to engage in commercial agriculture to improve production, multiplication, disease control, agricultural mechanization and irrigation, and farmer interventions in the fishery sector. The Farmer Education Mobilization Value Addition and Service Delivery campaign will take place on the 24th, 25th and 26th of November 2023 in the districts of Gomba, Butambala and Pigi, respectively.
And His Excellency retired Colonel Rhoda Ngonzi, the High Commissioner Designate of the Republic of Uganda, presented his credentials to His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi, at the Kamuza Palace in Lilongwe, officially accrediting him as Uganda's High Commissioner to the Republic of Malawi. Upon representing his credentials, Fred Mwesige expressed the honor and privilege to have been appointed as the High Commissioner of the Republic of Uganda to that of Max Mwesije hailed the excellent historical bilateral relations that exist between Uganda and Malawi, bolstered by the strong political and socio-economic ties. Now, he requested that Africa truly unite with the mission of achieving one government, one currency, and one army, so as to achieve the dream of the founding fathers of the continent and standing as the only insurance for the future generations. Now, Mwesije also highlighted the need to establish a joint permanent commission between Uganda and Malawi that will provide framework for the cooperation in key sector areas of agriculture, education, business, trade and investment. On receiving the credentials, President Chakwera welcomed and congratulated Fred Mwesije upon his appointment as Uganda's High Commissioner to Malawi. President Chakwera underscored the excellent historic bilateral relations that exist between Malawi and Uganda, underpinned on Pan-Africanism and shared values. He hailed the visionary leadership and commitment of His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni to ensure these relations progress from strength to strength. Now, a dramatic scene unfolded at the Anti-Corruption Court in Kampala as Chief Magistrate Sylvia Ngonzi and from Sembabule Court and Chief State Attorney Bako Jacqueline were charged and remanded on 9 counts of corruption. According to prosecution, the 2 officials allegedly received a sum exceeding 10 million shillings from suspects. This alleged gratification was supposedly to secure the release on bail of certain individuals and to exclude them from the charge sheet.
Amidst the heightened drama, the former Chief Magistrate Sembabule Magistrates Court, Sylvia Ngonzi, shouted at the top of her voice when she was brought to court to face charges that led to her morning arrest. Magistrate Sylvia Ngonzi and Chief State Attorney Bako Jacqueline appeared before Magistrate Joan Achiro, facing 9 corruption charges. These charges related to allegedly soliciting gratification from Johnny Ambassador and Mulanga Franco to facilitate the release on bail for Kalintu Zedekia and dropping charges against Eric Sabit. Prosecution alleges that Sylvia Ngonzi and Bako Jacqueline solicited over 10.48 million from the aforementioned suspects.
In performance of their public functions, solicited for gratification of 2,500,000 shillings from the relative of Ambassador John, solicited for gratification of Uganda shillings 2,500,000 from Karinti Zedekia in exchange for the grant of bail to the said Karinti.
Despite pleading not guilty to the alleged charges, Stanley Baini, the leading prosecutor, informed court that inquiries are still ongoing. Presenting herself in court, Magistrate Sylvia Ngonzi sought for bail by presenting sureties.
Because my demeanor, that I can't run out, I can't hide. My Lord, also out of the 8 counts, I happen to appear on a count where my relative almost is. I humbly pray to overrule state submissions and permit me to produce the necessary documentation, because I have nowhere to go.
However, the court declined to grant her bail for failure to present substantial sureties to court. Magistrate Joan Achiro remanded them until November 23, 2023, when Magistrate Sylvia Ngonzi can make a fresh bail application. The alleged offences, according to the prosecution, took place in April 2023. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, has directed for an exclusion from all parliamentary activities the MPs who boycott plenary sittings. According to Among, any MP who boycotts plenary proceedings will be excluded from foreign trips, committee sittings, and also put off the list of those to participate in the forthcoming East African Parliamentary Games slated to take place between the 7th and 18th of December in Rwanda.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, has evoked Rule 112 of Parliament Rules of Procedure to issue new directives to members of Parliament who have continued to escape plenary sittings a day after the opposition attended a special sitting to pay tribute to the late former minister, Joyce Mpanga, who died recently. The Speaker also directed the respective parliamentary committee, which chairpersons have boycotted plenary sittings, to evoke rules of Parliament to continue with committee business.
Because a committee is an extension of the House, they should not, and this one goes to the clerk, nobody who is out of the House should be allowed to travel. Because you are not in the House, you're not part of the House, you've decided to be out of the House, so you don't enjoy your rights.
Speaker Among, who asked for individual letters from each of the opposition members involved in the boycott, tasked the clerk to Parliament, Adolphe Mwesige, to exclude all members who she says have chosen to absent themselves from the House from the forthcoming East African Parliamentary Games slated to take place in Rwanda between 7th and 18th December 2023.
Whether they are goalkeepers or what, they should be gotten out of the list. That some friends of ours, our colleagues, come and clog in outside there and go back. It's about integrity. I am going to print that list of members who have clogged in, stayed out there, and pretend to be in the House.
In the last address to the media, the opposition wing, which is also divided on the decision to attend plenary, vowed to continue with the boycott until their concerns are addressed. Among the concerns include that the government responds on the alleged kidnaps and abductions of supporters of the opposition. Meanwhile, the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, has told Parliament that government has no funds to establish a constitutional review commission. Recently, the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, wrote to the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs seeking for guidance on the proposals by several members of Parliament, especially private members, on constitutional amendments. Norbert Mao responded to Parliament saying government has already taken efforts to carry on with these amendments.
In light of the financial constraints that we are facing, since we don't have all the money for the Constitutional Review Commission, Madam Speaker, it has been the government's position that the Constitution will require major amendments. And at the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, we already have most of the proposed amendments. The cabinet paper is ready, and in due course, after cabinet approval, we shall be here.
Daniel Mugoya, Shamim Naiga, UBC News.
Right now, the Joint Security Forces comprising of the UPDF and police in Karamoja sub-region have started a name and shame exercise of suspected armed criminals in each district. Now, the names of are read and displayed during community meetings.
South Karamoja has been experiencing insecurity of cattle raids, killings of both soldiers and civilians, with most affected areas being Kosike, Lorengwat in Nabilatuk, Lotome in Napak, Tapak in Moroto, and Loro in Amdat. As a result, criminal alliances were created among some ethnic groups.
Kongoro, Nakwanyen, they are raiding people of Arengese.
The top security officers of UPDF, police, Napak and Nabilatuk deputy RDCs and disarmament, Karakanas mobilizer, Judith Natuk, among others, have met in Nabilatuk Town Council for a peace meeting.
Last 3-4 months, we have been mobilizing the population to embrace peace. And we have managed to recover a number of guns.
As leaders of Karamoja, people should come out openly and support the peaceful coexistence of these communities.
When they tell us, let's take back the guns to the government, that's already peace. We are not forcing them to speak. It is from their hearts. It means that their minds have been changed. And all this is because of continuous peace there.
Names of suspected armed criminals in Abilatuk were read in the meeting.
We have a list of criminals that we gathered from by intelligence and from the communities. So today we decided to read the names to the public so that they are known by everyone. And we hope it is going to yield the results.
This has created mixed reactions among leaders and Karakanas.
It's good to know the persons and even identify them in public, because that alone will make them fear to even to commit that kind of crime next time.
Today we have broken the trust. I don't know what we are going to do. We shall find a way of manning again that trust. Their names were kept confidential. Parliamentarians, chairman of Karamoja, LECs of Karamoja. It is our voices that are destroying our very own Karamoja. Let us get together and speak the same voice. Peace. It's as simple as that. The community can listen to us.
Meanwhile, Brigadier General Busizori says peace mobilization campaign has created peace in North Karamoja for the last 4 months. I'm Nafka Farida and Moriniga.
Now, former Managing Director of Uganda Railways Corporation, Stanley Sendegea, is facing 3 charges for allegedly providing false documents to secure his position at the corporation. Appearing before Buganda Road Magistrates Court, Sendegea pleaded not guilty to these charges and was subsequently remanded to Luzira Prison.
Within the courtroom, Stanley Sendegea, the former Uganda Railway Corporation Managing Director, appeared before Magistrate CN Womogisha and faced 3 counts of presenting false documents, especially claiming a master's degree in business administration, which he allegedly did not hold. Reading the charges, the prosecution outlined that Sendegea submitted documents, including his curriculum vitae, to Deloitte Uganda Limited, with the aim to secure the position of managing director.
The particulars of the offence are that he, Sendegea Stanley, during the month of July 2020 at Deloitte Uganda Limited offices at Plot 1 Lumumba Avenue in Kampala City with intent to deceive, made a false document to wit a curriculum vitae purporting that you held a master's degree in business administration, whereas not. Have you heard and understood the statement and particulars of the offence read to you in count 2?
I heard what you read, but
is it true or not true? Is it true or not true?
Not true.
In count 3, you are charged with uttering a false document contrary to section 351 and 347 of the Penal Code Act. The particulars of the offence are that Stanley Sendegea, during the month of July 2020,
although Sendegea Stanley pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences, his lawyer Benon Tusasire requested bail on grounds of health issues, proposing 3 sureties, including a workmate, his son and his mother-in-law.
The person is in a very bad health state. He was actually under medication when he was sick.
So are you going to proceed or not?
Worship, they are choosing to present sureties. The first one.
However, the prosecution objected to the bail application, citing the need to have verification of the presented medical documents and ascertaining that the presented sureties are not substantial. Magistrate Sieno Womogisha deferred the decision on the bail until November 27, 2023, when she would deliver her bail after revealing the bail application. Stanley Sendegea, the former managing director, was arrested by State House Anti-Corruption Unity in collaboration with the police. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Meanwhile, Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has lagged behind due to constant conflicts, poor infrastructure and lack of good governance. Now, the vast and difficult terrain remains a challenge to the joint military operation of the UPDF and FARDC forces in northeastern Ituri province in the Democratic Republic of Congo as they continue to fight the ADF rebels.
It is heavy raining every day in northeastern part of the Ituri province in Democratic Republic of Congo. Uganda People's Defense Forces in pursuit of the ADF rebels in Ituri province are facing difficulties in manhunt due to the heavy rains which have destroyed the road network in northeastern part of DRC. Despite the challenge of the bad roads, UPDF infantry soldier trek and advance in small sub-divided units to the enemy line.
The environment is one of those environments in the world that I have never experienced. It's terrible. The roads are totally, banged up. No good roads. You have to work on the roads. You have to bring machinery. I've tried to carry a few of my divisional machinery to come and work on these roads. I've tried to, patch up here and there. It's very expensive. The logistics are expensive, but thank God, the leadership of the army have ensured we got these machines, and they continue to provide us other logistics like fuel to ensure we do a lot of enhancement of these routes. And we believe it is a challenge, but we shall make up to it.
Motorized infantry and heavy load military vehicles cannot proceed to the intended supply routes due to the poor road network. From Luna, Ndimo, Manzobe towards Mombasa, it is impassable. Trucks and other military vehicles can't proceed. They remain stuck in the mud for hours. Uganda People's Defense Forces has established its forward operating base at Luna village as a launch pad to the enemy targets. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
And the Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakova, has implored members of the African Union to strengthen their judicial system in order to deal with land-related matters, especially for those that are less privileged. This was in her keynote address during the opening session of the 5th Conference on Land Policy in Africa, hosted at the African Union headquarters, Addis Ababa.
A section of African leaders, especially ministers of lands and urban development, are currently convening in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, for the 5th Conference on Land and Policy.
And the conference's theme aligns with the African Union theme of 2023, which is on acceleration of the AFCFTA implementation.
Uganda's delegation is being led by the Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakova.
Our presence here today underscores the shared dedication to crafting policies that will shape the future of land management in our continent.
And in her opening remarks, Minister Judith Nabakova challenged the participating countries to join hands in tapping into the conference's vast opportunities.
As we deliberate over the next few days, I invite each one of you to join hands in finding innovative solutions to the challenges we face in land governance. Uganda is committed to contributing its experience and insights to the collective wisdom of the African Union Land Agenda.
In attendance is His Excellency Josepha Leonel Koeria Sako, the AU Commissioner for Agriculture, Rural Development, Blue Economy and Sustainable Environment.
We are all stakeholders because we have Agenda 1 to 17 ahead of us.
This year's conference is majorly focusing on how best African countries can collectively address the critical issues surrounding land policies that are integral to our shared vision of sustainable development.
Inclusive land governance is critical to achieving the African Union Agenda 2063, particularly goals related to quality of life and well-being, agriculture, environment, peace and security, and gender equality.
The conference also focuses on promoting sustainable land governance in Africa for acceleration of the African Continental Free Trade Area, as many still complain about inequalities in judicial systems when it comes to land-related matters. Nabakova noted that Africa must move in to streamline land justice systems to reduce on the backlog of land cases in their countries. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Now,
the atmosphere in Kansanga and Lukuli parishes Much India Division was one of jubilation as residents warmly welcomed Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja. His visit at Chibati zone brought long-awaited positive news to the community amidst a meeting held to address their concerns. Several villages, including Sankasa, Mutesasida and Chiwempe, were on the brink of eviction due to a claim made by Dr. Martin Kato, who asserted ownership on plot 254 block 300 in Kansanga, Nabutiti.
During the minister's visit to locus in Kansanga, the residents faced with potential eviction affecting over 1,500 homesteads expressed their distress to Dr. Sam Mayanja, citing Dr. Martin Kato's claim to the land.
It is since 1968 when our dear fathers had settled on this land. So this implies that we are bona fide occupants.
The RSCC Machundia Division, Mark Abayingana, assured the residents of security for their bibanjas and argued Dr. Kato to let the bibanja holders live in peace. He encouraged residents to engage with government programs accessible through his office. Dr. Sam Mayanja, the State Minister for Lands, clarified the legal grounds supporting the Bibanja's holders' right to remain on their land.
Constitutional guarantee, it cannot be touched. I've also said, in addition to that, there are presidential directives. 3 of them actually. The first one, 22nd August 2013, which, among other things, stated that there is no kwegula because you can't kwegula what is yours. There is no giving a little piece of land, title, and then surrendering the other to the male owner.
He directed the RSCC Machundia to ensure the security of the beneficiaries and cautioned Dr. Kato against attempting to evict residents from their bibanjas, emphasizing that the legal action would follow any of such actions. Sechimpi Kasim, the else-one chairperson of Sankala Zone, outlined the path forward based on the directives from the minister.
So we are here today to thank so much our minister, so that he has helped us, has taught us, and we have understood exactly what we are supposed to do.
Justin Nakami, Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
Well, with that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details.
Jovia.
Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kumu ku ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
In this family, we can't agree on anything.
Martha.
We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndowoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
In
the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy, Wanawoli.
Lagos.
Malaria is still the #1 cause of death in Uganda. To help you protect your family from malaria, the government of Uganda is continuing its mosquito nets distribution campaign to give mosquito nets to every household in the country. Register and receive your mosquito nets from the community health worker. Distribution of nets in the following districts and cities will take place from the 28th to the 29th of November 2023. Bulisa, Mityana, Kagadi, Kole, Agago, Kumi, Omoro, Ngora, Nwoya, Amuria, Manafwa, Pader, Katakwi, Sembabule, Mubende, Chikube, Hoima District, Hoima City and Chitagwenda. Together, we can trust malaria out of Uganda. Sleep under a mosquito net every night. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from the Global Fund.
Prof Bio Research, winners of the Best East Africa Brand Award 2023, invites you for the 8th Great Sundowner Sentes Mera Committee from 26 November to 2nd December 2023, full week blast. Keynote trainer, Omukenku Funyanzi Julius, Chuma Chiwagala Chuma. Topics include Pampers and Vermiculite soil fertilizers production, mechanized banana juice production and preservation, Ganodama mushroom cultivation, and castor plant cultivation, aloe vera gel and juice cheese making and castor oil making, bathing and herbal soap production, and matchbox making at Tutorial Mall Hall Rooftop from 26 November to 2nd December 2023, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Entrance 100,000 shillings or book via mobile money on 0703 152 152. Buy a ticket at 100,000 shillings and get a free tray of saffron eggs, Ganodama mushroom garden, and a training certificate.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, in conjunction with the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, have launched a project to develop an electronic document and records management system for entities to digitize their records. This is to assist in the shift from manual records to electronic ones.
This initiative is in line with the Digital Transformation Roadmap and National Development Plan 3, emphasizing record keeping. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Trade, Geraldine Sally, says the system is an important milestone for the ministry. It aims at increasing staff productivity and creates valuable office space.
So we are not going to be having papers again in the office. Even the court system and the whole judicial system is all going electronic, paperless. This is how governments survive COVID, that a whole government can work from home and still survive.
In 2019, the electronic document and records management system was upgraded to include mail management process, workflows to facilitate fast action, tracking and feedback.
The world is moving. And if you think that you remain analog, you remain the way you are, you remain believing in papers only, you'll have a challenge.
This system is in line with Government of Uganda Digital Transformation Agenda, Market Access and Knowledge-Based Economy. Knowledge-based economy. Digitization of these records translates into digitization of knowledge, which falls under digital transformation. And this is part of our national development plan.
The ministry plans to undertake a sensitization campaign of government workers to ensure efficient adoption of the system and acquisition of the digital gadgets like laptops for use.
So we are going to do a sensitization drive in January, starting on the 16th of January 2024, to show people how they can use the system, because we have extended this system to all departments. And on top of that, we are launching another system for the corporators themselves, which is going to be like a plug-in into this very system, so that corporators can actually access information in real time. You don't have to come into the ministry to look for files or to pay anybody to get a document.
The system has several benefits, among them efficiency and effectiveness, fight against corruption and ensuring safety of the documents. Jimmy Akanshemeza and Rashid reporting for UBC.
And a 3-day international literature conference has opened at Chambogo University with a commitment from government to support Ugandan writers starting with the next financial year. Presidential Advisor on Public Relations, also founder president of Uganda Women Writers Association, Mary Karoro Okurut, represented the State Minister for Culture, Peace Mutuzo, at the opening.
African writers have been challenged to consider prioritizing local content in their literature works as a way of boosting and preserving their respective rich cultural heritage of Africans. As a way of motivating local writers in Uganda, government is considering a special package with effect from next financial year for them. The State Minister for Culture, Peace Mutuzo, was represented by Presidential Advisor on Public Relations, Mary Karoro Okurut, at the opening of the 3-day International Literature Conference at Chambogo University.
She has encouraged writers to start writing in their local language so that we can preserve our culture, our tradition, and our norms. And she has said that come next financial year,
the government is going to put in resources to help writers achieve their goals.
FemRight Executive Director Hilda Tonjelire say that the conference theme will feature the life and works of Professor Abdurazak Grana from Zanzibar, Tanzania, the first East African to win the Nobel Literature Prize Award 2021.
We are really excited. This is to honor him. This is to honor his contribution to literature. This is to honor African literature, and we believe it is an inspiration for all.
Power also seeks to promote literacy and eradicate illiteracy in Africa.
And I'm disappointed somehow that the reading culture in this country is very, very low.
Several participants shared their expectations of the conference.
Yes, we can, because it has taken so many years for East Africa not having this type of award. But the fact that
I've read his novels in the recent times and I'm fascinated by his work. I've also prepared a paper, so I'm looking forward to see what other people have found in the work.
You are so important to the lives of academics and researchers because you write our history, you write our culture.
This conference is a special occasion for us. And I want to thank those who chose the Department of Literature.
Some of the countries represented in the conference include Kenya, Tanzania, Qatar, Germany, Nigeria, South Africa, and Zambia, among others. Justin Nakami, Juko Colin, UBC News.
And Busia head teachers have asked government to intervene in the rising cases of land grabbing that have affected development programs of several schools in the district. Wawide Joseph, the head teacher at Sibirese Primary School, Lumino Majanji Town Council, revealed that his school has lost over 7 acres of land, including 2 classroom blocks.
3 primary schools, 1 technical institute and 1 secondary school, all are government-aided, have been affected with the challenges of land grabbing in Busia district.
We may need to either to enact an ordinance to protect both the community and the schools and the founding bodies, or we may propose an amendment to the Education Act, where the founding bodies and all those responsible for various institutions have kind of memoranda of understanding with either the community or the donors.
The head teacher at Sibirise Primary School in Lumino Majanji Town Council, Wawire Joseph, requested government to take a keen interest in a wave of crime associated with land grabbing affecting development of schools and wastage of resources in courts of law.
A lot of resources. This is also to do other school activities to push our standards higher. You see now, we divide. Those resources are divided to other votes such as the court proceedings. Indeed, it has an effect on the side of welfare for the teachers and for the pupils.
Mayende Agre, the head teacher Busia SS, a school with a population of 1,500 in Busia municipality, says the grabbed land is 18 acres and the current land is not enough for school expansion.
Grabbing of the land has affected development, even in the case of where we put like staff quarters. We have lots of projects that we will be doing, urban farming, that land alone.
Bwire Patrick Obai and Mangeni Stephen Obai, the complainants, insist on not shifting Buwalira Primary School. A Lupo scholar, the deputy Kao Busia, was not in position to explaining the genesis of the wrangles because she's still new in office. Kibwika Michael, the RDC Busia district, confirmed legal battles in court involving schools facing off with land grabbers that have encroached on school pieces of land.
So we are saying no, let the district take over all these cases through the office of the Attorney General.
As the rainy season persists nationwide, agriculturalists are urged to make the most of this period by focusing on crops resistant to heavy rainfall. emphasizing value addition and prioritizing quick maturing crops. John Bosco Okwaja, principal of the National Farmers Leadership Center in Kampiringisa, PG District, addressed local farmers attending a 4-day training workshop organized by SMU from South Korea.
Agriculture remains the cornerstone of the country's economy. The government consistently encourages farmers to engage in commercial farming and value addition, thus expanding the range of agricultural products for international markets. Okwaja advised farmers to seize the rainy season by planting quick maturing crops resilient to rain while exploring value addition strategies. This advice was one of the ongoing workshops at the National Farmers Leadership Center in Kampiringisa, Mpege District, organized by SMU, South Korea.
Committed transformation is not about being an individual. It is not proper for you to develop alone in the village and the people around you in absolute poverty. They will fight against you. So I want to urge you today, by the time you leave here,
the workshop drew participants from various districts including Mbale, Butareja, Kasanda, Kayunga and others from across the country. Stella Maris Bokirwa, Vice President of Samaundong in Uganda, urged farmers to apply the knowledge gained in the workshop to train others, emphasizing the commercialization of the agriculture sector.
So we should make sure that when we have this chance of having rain, we should follow the seasons of the rain in Uganda and make sure that we prepare our gardens well so that we can be able to plant our crops and get a good yield. I encourage the farmers in Uganda to take good advantage of this season, to make sure that they use proper land. They use their land properly.
Emmanuel Katerega, the international coordinator of Samaundong in Uganda, outlined the training objectives for local farmers.
So we request the government to get involved, to come to our side and work together to see to it that we develop these villages together so that we look for market for these products which have been added, value added.
Sudat Kaye and Fred Kasibante, UBC News.
Now, the Katikiro of Uganda, Charles Peter Maiga, has expressed his condolences to the family of the late Joyce Mpanga, former State Minister for Primary Education and a respectable figure in the Buganda Luchiko, who passed away on Saturday. Maiga described her as a dedicated individual who served the kingdom diligently. She played a pivotal role in the education sector, he adds. He shared these sentiments during his visit to the late Mpanga's residence in Lunguja to pay his respects.
Last Saturday brought the shocking news of Joyce Mpanga's passing. She served as the State Minister for Primary Education from 1989 to 1992 and had been an esteemed figure within the Buganda community. Following her dismiss, both the Buganda Kingdom and the country at large have been in mourning, reflecting on the impactful contributions made by the late Mpanga. Katikiro Charles Peter Maiga paid his respect earlier today at the Mpanga residence, highlighting Joyce's advocacy for women's rights.
And when she was asked by the University of Indiana how she wanted to be remembered, she replied that she wanted to be remembered as a leader and as a woman who was interested in the emancipation of women and who was working for ensuring that the girl child gets education and better opportunities.
He mentioned her substantial contributions to the education sector, notably through her authored works, including the book titled It's a Pity She's Not a Boy.
In her book, there are Asanasio Masembe who ensured that you got the best education and took up the best schools, something which was rare at that time for a parent to do for a daughter. And then the third man was a husband, Andrew Frederick Mpanga, the father of H.T. Daudi Mpanga and Dr. Lydia Sebuiran and many others, who did not stand in her way.
Maiga emphasized that Joyce had served the king and the kingdom unwaveringly, an effort acknowledged by the Kabaka through the bestowal of a kingdom accolade.
She is one of the pioneer recipients of the highest honor in the kingdom, which is Ekitiibwa kya Mafumu n'Engabo, which received together with Ekitiibwa Joseph Patrick Musoke, Captain Ronnie Owen, and Major Kagum. These two were very close to Kabaka Mutesa, and they were guardians of Prince Ronald Mutebi. And at the time of her death, she was a member of the Buganda Lukiiko and very close advisor to the Kabaka.
Joyce Mpanga passed away at the age of 90 last Saturday and will receive a state burial tomorrow, Thursday, in Maya, Masaka Road. Justin Nakami, Andrew Sebira, UBC News.
The Omusinga of the King of Rwenzururu Kingdom, Omusinga Charles Wesley Mumbere, has encouraged students pursuing nursing to stick to the ethics of medical workers as they prepare to serve the nation. He said this during a visit to Bukonzo County West constituency to Bwera General Hospital and Bwera School of Nursing.
His Majesty Omusinga Charles Wesley Mumbere Iremangoma, the King of Rwenzururu Kingdom, has encouraged students who are pursuing nursing studies to stick on the ethics of medical workers as they prepare to serve the nation. He said this during his visit to Bukonzo County West constituency, where he paid a courtesy call to Bwera General Hospital and Bwera School of Nursing. He said that medical workers can only be effective in service delivery if they stick on medical ethics while attending to the patients.
So you as a nurse or a doctor, it is your responsibility to comfort such a patient. And if they treat you in that way, will you also be happy?
While at Bwera Hospital, the hospital administrator, Clarence Bwambare Mumbahya, noted that the patients are overwhelmed compared to the numbers of health workers at the hospital and used this chance to call for government intervention.
Too high. And eventually, where they have posted 2 midwives in a ward, these 2 midwives can't do much on around 5 mothers who need to deliver at the same time. So it is a big challenge that.
He also noted that the hospital lacks an ambulance to ferry out patients to referral hospital.
Recently we had a soldier who had been hit by an antelope in the park there, and he was bleeding profusely, and eventually we needed to transfer him from here to Mohoti. Getting a vehicle from Kavera up to here, it took us hours, and this person was in a bad condition.
Later, Omusinga addressed the gathering at Chanzi Playground in Pondwe, Lubiriha Town Council, where he called for peace and reconciliation among all tribes in Kasese district. Report by Moses Mutabali.
Jovia. Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu, nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kkubo ku ki ky'osobola okukola omukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
The doctor says you are getting better. I have a list of suspects in my file here, but I need you to help me identify the thief who attacked you. This can thief again.
Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net. Clear bushes and all stagnant water around you. If you notice any symptoms, go to a health center near you to test and treat. And ensure to complete your full dose to avoid severe malaria, which could lead to death.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
And now in business news, innovators and young entrepreneurs want government to formulate favorable policies towards attracting investment into digitizing the country's economy. This call was, this was a call for action made during the Uganda Innovation Week happening at ICT Lab Hub in Nakawa. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede assured entrepreneurs and innovators of development partners to spur innovations.
The emerging technological advances from Ugandan entrepreneurs are faced with unfavorable legislations and inadequate government support to thrive. Innovators seek redress from the government towards achieving digital economy.
I'll go down, actually found 11 acts ICT related over the last 10 years. We have any entities doing that, opportunities around digital contract services, payment gateways. We've seen a number of payment gateways, but are they enough? Are they actually serving the opportunities and the needs of the market?
The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance commits on its mandate of ensuring connectivity to support startups and other innovations.
Infrastructure and connectivity is priority. Getting services online is priority. Skilling is priority. Ensuring that we have safe and secure systems is priority. And also ensuring that we do skilling is another priority. Then innovation and entrepreneurship is also very key. So we have conversations and have brought together development partners. We have got together private sector. Private sector foundation is on board to supporting the roadmap.
During the 2023 Innovation Week happening at Nakawa ICT Hub, startups and stakeholders in the innovation ecosystem decried of hardships to access capital.
The high cost of devices and data that make it very challenging. But what we're starting to see is that as businesses grow, a growing number of entrepreneurs are selecting to domicile their headquarters outside Uganda because of ease of incorporation, friendly business environment, proximity to capital generation.
Our hope is that at the end of the 3 days, we will have actual deals, that businesses will connect with the investors. That's number one. Number two, our other hope is that out of this shared knowledge and shared learning is that some of those that have been fearing to take the bold step, they can also begin taking the bold steps.
Startups and innovations are advised to engage in partnerships and make ideas feasible for venture capital attraction. The 2023 Uganda Innovation Week has attracted at least 1,000 startups and innovators from under the theme Adopt or Be Left Behind, Opportunities in the Digital Economy. Komagum Rogers and Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
And in sports, Uganda's senior men team, the Cricket Cranes, beat Tanzania by 8 wickets to claim their first win at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Africa qualifiers. This was earlier today in Windhoek, Namibia.
In their first game of the tournament, played at Wanderers Cricket Grounds, Uganda beat Tanzania by 8 wickets to get their first 2 points of the tournament. Uganda won the toss and elected to field, limiting Tanzania to 99 runs for 7 wickets in 20 overs. In the second innings, Uganda chased the total in 15.2 overs, posting 105 runs for 2 wickets and hence claiming the victory.
It was important for us to start the tournament on the right note. Every win counts in this tournament, and it's good to pick up the points and put them in the bag. But more importantly, it gives us a momentum going into our next 2 big games against Zimbabwe and Namibia. It wasn't the easiest of wickets to bat on. I think both teams found it a bit difficult to score runs. Initially we thought it was a 150, 160 wicket, but clearly it went slow and low as the game went on. So, it was good for us to restrict them to 100 runs and come down and chase it. We'll take the positives from this game. What we did well, we'll try and do that again. Where we fell short, we have a day off tomorrow, so we'll look at that, look at those areas and see how we can execute a bit better.
Players Alpesh Ramjani with 3 wickets from 26 balls and Simon Sesazi with 31 runs of 35 balls were exceptional in the game. Uganda's Riazat Alisha stood out and was voted the player of the match for his 47 runs of 21 balls and 2 wickets from 14 balls.
I felt good. I performed with the ball and with the bat. That's my aim in every game, to perform for Uganda with the bat and the ball as an all-rounder. And it felt amazing. It's totally different wickets where we played last time. The last time wicket were a bit faster, and it's easy to bat on those wickets, but this time wickets are slow and we have to take our time to adjust with the wickets.
The Cricket Queens team will take a rest day tomorrow, the 23rd of November 2023, and return to action on the 24th of November 2023. At the Wanderers Cricket Grounds against hosts Namibia at exactly 2:30 p.m. My name is Grace Kemgisa for UBC News in Windhoek.
West Nile Education Trust sponsors the 4th annual fundraising dinner to be hosted in Kampala at Kampala Parents Main Hall on Saturday, the 2nd of December 2023, starting at 4 p.m. The trust fund targets to support brilliant but needy students from West Nile region to join public universities to study selected professional courses. The fund is currently supporting 28 students in the different public universities across the country. The West Nile Education Trust Fund calls upon all education-loving individuals, corporations, organizations and all well-wishers and associates of West Nile to support this initiative. Tickets are on sale at 100,000 Ugandan shillings per person, 180,000 shillings for a couple, and a corporate table of 6 persons costs 1 million Ugandan shillings.